Legendary Pokémon. There are quite a few of them these days in the Pokemon games. You have Mewtwo, Lugia, Groudon, Arceus, Feewheel! And most recently, the Cosmog evolutionary line. Hello everyone, I am Alka193 and this is a Pokémon Vortex V4 tutorial video on Legendary Pokémon. Legendary Pokémon are a group of incredibly rare and often very powerful Pokémon, generally featured prominently in the legend and myths of the Pokémon world. Also in Pokémon Vortex, they are legendary. They are hard to find. They are incredibly rare. So can you just walk around on the maps? Walk like this, la 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 la, and just encounter them that easy? No, it doesn't quite work like that because there are a few requirements. If you go to my profile, then you'll see here, you are able to find legendary Pokemon currently. You have defeated all necessary gyms to find legendary Pokemon on the maps. That already gives you a suggestion as to what you need to do. Now let's actually go to my other account, the account I use for my Vortex playthroughs, Shadow Ghoul. As you can see here on my Shadow Ghoul account, you are not able to find legendary Pokemon currently. Complete all gyms, Elite Fours, Battle Frontiers, and the Battle Maison to find legendary Pokemon on the maps. That is indeed what you have to do. Under normal conditions, you're only able to find regular Pokemon, like your Shelmet, but also your Bulbasaur, your Mimikyu, your Drifloon, your Nidoran female, and Pokemon like that on the maps. You aren't able to find your legendary Pokemon. For that, you have to beat gyms and battle facilities. Now, it's really easy to see which gyms and other facilities you've already defeated because they'll be colored. Brock, Lieutenant Surge, Janine, but also here in Hoenn, all of them are colored. Now, if you were able to find legendary Pokemon in version 3, then going into version 4, you may not be able to find them anymore. At least, you shouldn't be, because Alola was added. And with Shadow Ghoul, I was able to find legendaries, not anymore. Because now there are trials. 7 trials, 4 Kahuna battles, 4 Elite Four battles, and then a champion battle. I need to fight those to be able to encounter legendary Pokemon again, and obviously beat them all. Next to that, remember we also have to face battle facilities. So that's the Hoenn Frontier with 7 battles, the Sinnoh Frontier with 5 battles, and the Kalos Maison with 4 of them. Once you've beaten all of those, you should be able to get the following message right here on your profile that you are able to find legendary Pokemon. Okay, now we can find legendary Pokemon. So we just go in the maps and, yep, definitely a legendary Pokemon. No, it's not quite that easy. Obviously, legendary Pokemon are still legendary. They are incredibly rare. And because of that, they have a lot lower appearance rates than regular Pokemon such as the Komala that you just saw and the Hippopotas right here on the screen. There's a page on the Pokemon Vortex wiki called Map Encounter Rates. A link is in the description as well. As you can see here, basic Pokemon have about a 1 in 3 chance of being encountered with any step you take. That's a 33.3% chance. Legendary Pokemon only a 0.064% chance. That is a lot lower. Let's actually get the calculation going to see how much lower. There we go. 520.3125 times less chance to find a legendary Pokemon compared to a regular, and that is after you've unlocked them. So they are still rare. I will be giving you an idea of how rare they can be, because I'll be hunting for one of them in this video as well, just to give you a bit of an idea of their rarity. But before that, I do want to go over some other things. There's various kinds of legendary Pokemon. Obviously, if you're Articuno, you have your Zapdos, you have your Entei, you have your Lugia, and a lot of them are just able to be found on the maps. Even Pokemon that in the main games, your Gold, Silver, Crystal, Red, Blue, Platinum, anything like that, that are in events Pokemon within those games. For example, Celebi is not normally obtainable within a game. You need an outside event to be able to get it. Same counts for Arceus, same goes for Genesect. But those Pokemon I just named are able to just be encountered as regular legendary Pokemon in Pokemon Vortex. Doesn't count for all of them though. If you go into the Pokedex in Pokemon Vortex and, for example, go to Magearna, then you'll be able to see that there are no Magearna. Magearna is one of the Pokemon that just isn't available yet. Regular Hoopa, I believe it's called Confined Hoopa, at least that's the official naming for it. On Pokemon Vortex it's just Hoopa. Hoopa is also just not on Vortex yet. And there are some others, for example Meloetta Aria, that are on Pokemon Vortex but are only accessible through the store. The store can be accessed via the forums, where you can see these are some of them that you can get. There's a list of them here on the right. For example, where is it? There we go, Meloetta Aria. You can get all 6 of them, normal, shiny, dark, mystic, metallic, and shadow, by paying real-life money. So that is a way to get those legendary Pokemon. Now, next to legendary Pokemon you can just catch, legendary Pokemon that you can only get through the store, and those that just aren't in the game yet, like the regular Magearna, there are 4 others, which in a way count as just one, that is obtainable in a different way. And that's Cosmog. Cosmog and its evolutions Cosmoem, Lunal, and Solgaleo. Those are only available via the Vortex Discord quiz. I'm not going to go into detail about the Discord quiz to get Cosmog, but if you'd like a specific video about that, then feel free to let me know in the comments, and I may do that video in the near future. Before we go into the next thing, one final thing I do want to mention that I did forget earlier. Arceus is somewhat of a special case because of its different forms. Now, obviously, there are no items that you can equip to Pokemon. Obviously, you can use them on Pokemon. For example, a Firestone or a Growlithe will evolve it into an Arcanine, but you can't be like, hey, Dark Plate, and boom, Arceus Dark. And Arceus doesn't have a button where you can just form change. That just doesn't exist. So, regular Arceus, the normal Arceus, is a legendary Pokemon that you can encounter within the game. However, most others, for example Arceus Fire, just isn't available. I believe, if I recall correctly, the Arceus Electric, Arceus Electric has been available through trading and Pokebay. Naturally, it is still available, but you cannot get a new one now. Water was available as well through an event. And then, as you were able to see earlier, Arceus Fairy, there we go, Arceus Fairy is available through the store. Okay, I'm logged in again. I am going to go, what map should we go on? Actually, let's just go to this list of legendary Pokemon, find one I like that I know I can encounter. I want Giratina, no, I want Palkia. I really like Palkia. We're going to see where I can catch Palkia. So I pull up the list of Pokemon by location. Note that this might not be fully updated with version 4 yet, so it might slightly be different than what it says on here. Hopefully it will be updated completely soon. This is recorded on December 11th, by the way. So maybe, like, obviously, if you're watching this in half year's time, likely this will have been fully updated. As you can see, Palkia here can be found cave maps on land. Now, every kind of map, your electric maps, your ice maps, your grass maps, every map has at least one legendary Pokemon that you are able to encounter. Some will have more than others because that just makes sense with where certain Pokemon would appear. Now, some Pokemon only appear on specific maps, some only on multiple, and some only during the day or night. For example, Darkrai, I believe, is only a nighttime Pokemon. So do pay attention to that. Now, Palkia doesn't specifically list day or night, so I can just go to the cave maps on land and find them there. I'm going to go hunt for a legendary Pokemon. Hopefully I'll find a Palkia. There are other options in the cave as well. I'll have this counter here running in the background. Once I click start, I will go hunt, because obviously I'll cut out most of the hunting to not bore you with a, let's say, half-an-hour long video of me just clicking down, down, up, 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 down. This is going to be too much. So I'll leave this counter running in the background so that after the cut you'll be able to see exactly how long I've been hunting. Let's go. Okay, okay. I was just hunting for a legendary, but I'm gonna catch this. This is an Ultra Beast, which is a lot rarer than a legendary. And I'm gonna make a video about that soon, potentially even tomorrow if I can find the time. This is really special though, so I suppose a preview to that video. Come on, the first ever UB that I ever got, my circuitry. Took me 3 hours to find. This Cortana, like I even took a few minutes to like catch some Pokemon that I didn't have for my Pokedex yet. I took about 4 minutes to do the quiz, the Cosmo quiz that I referred to earlier, because it's just past 6 now. Yeah, so encounter rate, Ultra Beast, this. So that's over 10 times as rare as a legendary. So I just try to find a legendary, I find another Ultra Beast. I'll take it, Beast Ball. Go. Caught it. I now have a Kartana. Thank you very much. Let's continue actually trying to find a legendary Pokemon. What is this? I need this luck tomorrow. Like, let's say tomorrow I film the Ultra Beast video. I need this luck. Otherwise, I might go for hunting for another 3 hours. That's not what's supposed to happen. I just want to hunt for, like, maybe 5 minutes and then say, yeah, but normally it'll probably take longer because of the low chances. Come on. What is this? Madness. This is real madness. It's unbelievable. So let's just catch this Pokemon right here. Because they didn't have it yet. Come on, Pokeball. I said, come on, Pokeball. Thank you. We shall continue trying to find the legendary Pokemon that is Palkia or anything else that is legendary. Hopefully even a unique one, which is obviously, as you can see here on the map encounter rates page, unique ones are a lot rarer than normal. But that's the case even with regular Pokemon. However, just to find one would be nice as well. Except for the new ones that were introduced in Generation 7, the Legendaries, the Tapus. I don't have those all normal yet, but out of the Gen 6 and previous ones, the ones you can at least encounter normally that aren't an event, such as Meloetta, I have all normals. I just need the unique ones. I don't think I mentioned the time yet, but that Ultra Beast that I found earlier, including the 4-minute quiz that I did and the catching, I still caught it, like encountered it in 10 minutes from starting the timer. Like, the timer is now at 13. And I already have an Ultra Beast. Normally, it is not that easy to find. Hey! Found one! Found one! It's not a Palkia, but we found a Legendary! And it took us 16.5 minutes, including catching some other Pokemon and the quiz. I'd say that's just over 10 minutes, and that's actually pretty good. So let's just go catch that. I already have a Deancey, and I actually also already have a Mega Deancey. So, actually that reminds me, with it changing how you can get Mega Evolutions, I'm gonna write this down. Mega with an A. I wrote Mega with an E. M-E-G-E. I need to learn English. Mega Evolution, in between brackets, Stones tutorial. Just as an option that I write down on the rest of my list, how to get them. So, Deancey. I could just go catch it with a Master Ball, but I'd prefer to just keep those for unique legendaries. You can actually just catch them with regular Pokeballs as well. You can catch them with any balls except the Beast Ball, because Beast Balls are Ultra Beast exclusive. So, I'm going to weaken it with this, and that's actually why I have these Pokemon with me. I don't want to hit them too hard, though. 105 damage to Stone is actually a bit much. That's the risky thing about taking fully evolved Pokemon that are somewhat higher level, even if they're lower level. Do be careful when trying to catch them with something like a Pokeball, because now I don't have anything that can really hit them. Although Stone Edge did 105 with Stab, so Cross Jump shouldn't take them out. And I'm pretty sure on Wild Battles crits are cancelled. but I don't want to take the risk, so I'm just going to throw some Pokeballs with hope for a bit of luck. And otherwise, you have to hope for your Pokemon to be taken out. So, preferably, you take, let's say, a Mystic Barbaracle that still has Bindacles attacks to have weaker attacks to be able to weaken it better. Or you train up, let's say, a Binacle or a Litten or a Starly to, let's say, level 42 or 50 or whatever to still be able to use weaker attacks. Or you buy weaker attacks, but then if you're going to buy weaker attacks, why not just use a pre-evolution? So actually, I'm just going to use one of the Awakenings because I have so many Awakenings. Now I get to use my Burmese Steel. This shouldn't KO. Yeah, good. If you remember, like, there was a certain episode of my Vortex playthrough series where I counted like 7 legendaries in the episode. I was able to catch, I think, 1. I either, like, clicked too fast and missed them, or I took them out. So that was no good times. This is taken out. Let's get a Baltoy in with a little Mud Slappies. I don't want to take a risk here. Weaken them a little bit. Weaken them a little bit further. Roll out. 10 damage. It's a 10 HP, so we should be good. I have to watch out now. This is why it should have taken at least one level 100 Pokemon to stall. Because now it can really easily, quickly take me out. So, yeah. I am going to use the Master Ball, considering I have 87 of them. Side quests help out with that. So, Master Ball, after all. When you're hunting for legendaries, here's a tip that I just remembered that I learned earlier. Take some weaker Pokemon. So I had 4. I had the Burmy, the Pansear, the Baltoy, the what else did I have on my team? And Burmy, Baltoy, Pansear, Pineco. Take, let's say, one Pokemon like Barbaracle, except it not being a Barbaracle unless it knows like the Binacle moves to help weaken. Or maybe even have, and then have one Pokemon that is either like Metallic, Shiny, or Mystic that is level 100, preferably with a lot of resistances, so you can just take a lot of hits. You have more chances to try and throw a regular Pokeball at it. Although, if you have the Master Balls, you can use them, especially if it's a unique legendary. I suggest just use those. But yeah, we have now caught this Diancie. If we go to all of my Pokemon, you can see that I already have, I believe, all of the Diancies, except I have Shadow Mega Diancie. That's the only one I do not have yet. The rest of the Diancies I do. So, because I already have a Diancie, I'm just going to put this up in Pokebay. So, if you're on Vortex and you would like this, I'm hereby putting it up. The Diancie that I just caught is level 50. It's a 7-day auction, so you have 7 days from the making of this video to get it. Create auction. My auctions here, have an idea of what other auctions I have up. If you're interested in any of these, please go to my Alka103 account. You can just go browse auctions, search for a specific person, poof, and you can find all the auctions by a specific person. And then the one I just put up, the Diancie here, 7 days with a starting price at 25,000, which is the lowest you can get. You can put a Pokemon up for. So, we're pretty much at the end of the video. There's a few minor things that I want to mention. We encountered an Ultra Beast, Kartana, early in this video. Now, some, even in the main games, would consider Ultra Beasts to be legendaries, some would not. They are sort of like legendaries. Within the games, it's generally legendaries and mythical Pokemon that are two different things, and generally it's the mythical ones that aren't allowed in regular tournaments, such as Dialga, such as Groudon, such as Xerneas. But those are all just, within Vortex, legendary Pokemon. Here we have legendary Pokemon on one side and Ultra Beasts on the other. Ultra Beasts being, let's see, Kartana, Celesteela, Guzzlord, Buzzwole, Pheromosa, Xurkitree, and I want to say there's one more? Did I mention Kartana? Let's actually just go to the Pokedex so we can go straight to find out, because they're on the final page. And Nihilego. I forgot Nihilego for a moment there. So, those Pokemon are Ultra Beasts, and I'm going to make a video soon on exactly how Ultra Beasts work and how to catch them, because they're different than legendary Pokemon. You can't catch any of these Pokemon here the way that I just showed you today. I purposely also went over Necrozma, because Necrozma in the main games isn't an Ultra Beast. It just acts like one. At least that's what was said at the end of Pokemon Sun in the aftergame. At this point, I haven't actually finished Ultra Sun yet, so don't give me spoilers on how Necrozma works, because supposedly it has a big role in that. But even though Necrozma isn't an Ultra Beast in the main games, it does count as an Ultra Beast within Vortex, and I believe that is because Necrozma appears in the same way that the Ultra Beasts do at the end of Sun and Moon. So it sort of has the rarity of Ultra Beasts. So I feel it's fine that it has that same rarity in Vortex as well. The only difference is that Ultra Beasts can only be caught within Beast Balls, and Necrozma then also in Beast Balls and cannot be caught with things like Master Balls, but more details on that will come in the Ultra Beast tutorial video. For now, I'd like to end this video by saying that if you want to encounter Legendaries, you have to beat the gyms and the trials, which is under pretty much the same header. It's just called trials because, well, Gen 7 doesn't have gyms. And you also have to beat the battle facilities, Haut Infantry, Center Infantry, Kalos Maison. Once you've done that, you should be able to fight them. Find Legendaries, it says it below here as well. But just to be sure, just go to View Edit Profile. As long as you have this message here in green, you can find them. If it's still in red, like the message I showed you on my Shadow Goal account at the very start of this video, then you cannot encounter them. And then there's still probably a gym or a Battle Frontier thing that you have yet to defeat. If you have any further questions about legendary Pokemon, how to encounter them, or tips on how to catch them, please ask them in the comments section below. I feel I've mentioned all there is to legendary Pokemon that I feel that is good to mention in a tutorial video, but potentially I did forget something, and potentially there could be more details that I could tell about a certain part of this. So if you have any questions or even additions, please post them in the comments and I'd be glad to answer them. Next video, most likely a tutorial video on Ultra Beasts. I'll see you in that one. Goodbye.